Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome from all over the world. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited for today's video because today I'm gonna explain a little bit about the updated story and where I am now. And actually I'll be speaking a lot about my trip to Sierra Leone, but that will come a lot later on in the video. For a life update, I would say my friends and my family have really motivated me to actually start YouTube again. So here I am on YouTube trying to build up my YouTube channel, I guess. But it's not really just about building on YouTube. What it's about is actually sharing my story and connecting others who can relate to that story. And it's something that I really just want to share with others and just share the love and to share the peace and the happiness and to inspire people all over the world, you know, and just really get people to understand that all hope is not lost. Just because, you know, I may not have all of my arms and legs doesn't mean that, you know, life is over. It's just the beginning in a way, you know. Anyway, without going off on too much of a tangent, I think where I'm going to start off with talking about meningitis. Now, I had meningococcal septicemia, so which is poisoning of the blood, and the doctor said I had less than 1% chance of survival, which was absolutely terrifying for my parents. One of the things my mum said to me was that during the birth, my birth, that I was actually 15 minutes from the first pain to the last pain. So that was like good to know. I was like in a rush, you know. So all these little things happening, I mean, how quickly I came out of the womb and the way that meningitis affected me to the point where I'm still able to do things. I still have leverage, and I'm really lucky where the actual, the surgeon, where he amputated, because I still have leverage for my arms and my legs. I can still walk on my knees, I can still use my phone, I can still type, I can still drive, write, and everything that I want to do. You may or may not have a physical looking difference or whatever not. It doesn't mean that life is over. It doesn't mean that you can't live the best life possible. And if they just knew like how much, like the love that God has for them and that they should have for themselves, then I think the world would be a better place. And this is just the message that I want to share with people, and to show people that all hope is not lost, you know. You got to keep going, you know. And I got this from a pastor. It's not over until I win. And actually that brings me to my next story. So this quote I actually heard during the time of the lockdown in 2020 in COVID. Time when I really kind of went off the radar. I didn't really do much social media during the lockdown. I went on a bit of a break. What happened during that time is something I can't really describe, but I do believe that everybody had a sort of like a freak out period. They didn't know what was happening in the world, didn't know what was going to happen, didn't know what was going on, didn't know what people were going to do. And everyone was stuck inside, you know, and it was just really random situation for me to be in, because I wasn't used to being home. I was used to being out in London or traveling abroad or somewhere. I was never at home for longer than 2 days max. And yeah, and it really just changed me. It made me really appreciate what I have, and it made me really be grateful for what I have at home. And we have a garden, we have space, we have a lot of plants, a lot of flowers. One thing that I thank God that I did, thank you Jesus, one thing I'm really glad that I did is that I planted lots and lots of flowers that summer. So just in the spring, I think, so that by the summertime there were plenty of flowers. We had bay leaf, we had chrysanthemums, we had, what else did we have? I think we had like carrots and tomatoes, potatoes, we had cabbage, we had peanut tree, we had so much, so we were really blessed to have that. Another thing that I did is I actually picked up on my immune boosting herbs. So I had things like elderberry, things like ginger, things like garlic, black pepper, things like adding a bit of salt and lemon. Sometimes it works with a bit of honey, but I would skip on the salt, I think, and maybe just lemon and honey. All I can say is that I'm really grateful for everything that has happened, and my mum and I, we've been really strong. We fought, we cried, we laughed. It was just an adventure of a lockdown. So the first lockdown, my mum and I spent time in the garden. We spent a lot of time cooking, making herbal remedies. Oh, and I used to make this cough syrup actually, which wasn't actually a cough syrup, but it was used to boost my immune system every week, maybe 2 tablespoons a week, and it was just elderberry and ginger. Any deliveries I wasn't allowed to go near. She opened it all with a face mask, with the gloves, and then she would shower after, and then it's like we were washing our hands 10 billion times a day. She would, oh, my mum is just wonderful, and I love you, Mum, so much if you're watching this. And I'm really grateful for my mum and just everything that she does. She really tried her utmost hardest to keep me safe, especially, and herself, considering she's also at risk of contracting COVID. After the first lockdown, I went through a phase where it's kind of like I'm happy to be in like pajamas all day and chill out and just watch like Real Housewives happily. I think I began to get used to a very lax routine, which wasn't really like healthy for long term. But then after, I felt like something had to change. Things were not going so well in terms of having a good, healthy routine, you know. So during the second lockdown, I think, what I did is I started making TikTok videos. Mainly because I like TikTok because you can get a lot of good information very quickly, and I think that's where our generation is heading to now. Quick, good information, valuable information especially, not just anything. And I think that's why our generation sometimes can be like hard to fool, because we know our stuff based on one video. We'd go and research it and maybe study it or read about it. And I think that's like where our generation goes now for information. Places like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, maybe not so much Facebook, but definitely Instagram and TikTok. We are a social media age generation, so this is our forte. I'm not doing social media marketing or anything right now. But yeah, so the second lockdown, I really struggled actually with keeping my routine consistent. Sometimes I would exercise, sometimes I wouldn't. I think I had an obsession with certain things. I watched a lot of Real Housewives, and it's not even like I'm a big fan, I'm not, but it was just rubbish TV that I could keep my mind engrossed in while I was passing time, while everybody was locked in the house. So it's like I got started on that and now I can't stop, which is really bad. It's a habit that I picked up, which is, yeah, it's disappointing, but you know, there are worse habits. So I'm gonna stick with Real Housewives. I got into the habit of cooking, which was really good, because actually like my mum got to have, well, we got to have more time together, and we got to sit down and actually cook our home recipes. So recipes from Sierra Leone, recipes from Nigeria. Yes, my mum can cook Nigerian food and she can cook it very well. So we cooked different recipes, and we also made a lot of herbal remedies, like the cough syrup that I said. We also made my mum's secret concoction, which I will be talking about in another video. One other thing I do remember that happened was that I actually had a fear of going out at one point, a little bit, because I think everybody had got so used to being at home, the routine at home, that to go out and now to know that there's germs, there's this around, there's that around, and numbers are going up. I think it scared me in a way, because also like I don't have my limbs. This is the arm that I like these are the arms I do everything with. I don't have other fingers. So even when I think about it like that in like scientific terms of germs and how they work, then that really scared me, I think, more so than it would have scared other people. And actually, I wonder how other amputees like managed with that, because it was a interesting time for us amputees, as we had to really protect ourselves and our loved ones, you know, and our friends as well. So I imagine that other people had some like feelings of isolation, possibly. I don't know. But I'm sure it's not just amputees. I'm sure everyone around the world has felt isolation in some way. But I would really like to know in the comments if anybody with differences. And I think it's really important that we will share our experiences, because you never know who you might help with your own story. And this is why I keep telling people, be vocal about you. Don't change for anybody, just be you, because you don't know who you're helping. After the second lockdown, my mother and I had enough. We were so done with the UK, it was unreal. I felt like marching down the street, I'm black and I'm proud. I do remember distinctively that there was a lot of protests with the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to describe how I felt, but it was a time where I had to decide for myself what I was going to listen to and what I was going to tune out. What we did is, we packed our bags, booked a flight on the Friday, and we were out by the Tuesday. And we were really lucky because I think they closed the borders like the day after we got to Sierra Leone. And when we got there, straight through the airport, and I went with my auntie Aisha, and we went straight to our car, straight to our hotel. And I tell you, I think this action of just simply getting out of the UK, I think actually like saved me from a lot of negativity, a lot of like hardship, a lot of mental stress, I would say. And it's an action, it was a thing that I like would always opt for if I'm ever feeling any type of way. Just go home, go to Africa, go anywhere, but just come out of your environment, because your environment affects you. You become what you surround yourself with. I love my home, but coming out of the UK was the best thing for my mother and I. And my brother actually went to Dubai, and he's been there for like a few years now. I was really happy that I did that, because it really helped. It helped me with a lot of like being there, living in that moment was a lot better for me, because I was able to actually enjoy my time and enjoy being Hannah, enjoy being myself. So moving on to the time when I actually flew to Sierra Leone. So we got there, we did our test, we got through security and customs, and we actually went first to the Radisson Blu Mamiyoko Hotel in Sierra Leone, and that is in Freetown. Now, Sierra Leone is where my mum is from, and I'm very proudly Sierra Leonean and proudly Nigerian. But I recently adopted Ghanaian because I went to Ghana recently for the second time. And I would say I want an international passport, because I feel like I need one at this point with the amount of countries that I've been to. I feel like I'm just all cultures now. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's all togetherness, you know. Going there in 2020 was actually my first time ever in Africa. I really enjoyed my time there. As soon as I come out my front door, or I answer the door to somebody coming bringing up room service or something, there was black people. We are there, we are everywhere, and I love it. And because this is our time now, you know, and I feel like now people are going to be running to Africa every now and then, more so now than ever, because people are tracing their ancestral heritage. People are wanting to investigate more about themselves and learn more about a culture that may be even different from theirs. So I feel like now tourism in Ghana especially is going to go sky high, especially this Christmas. But yeah, so I'm really enjoyed my time in Sierra Leone. And of course, I had all of my family there. I don't even know how to describe them, but we are just such a loving bunch. You know, every family has their wahala, but my family are so supportive. That's all I can say. And because the way that they've just given me advice, the love, the wisdom, the knowledge, I just really appreciate that. And I'm just really happy to have been born into the family that I've been born into. I'm really grateful, because a lot of people, especially during the COVID lockdown, didn't have anybody. They weren't living with anyone. And if they were, maybe they weren't on the best terms, maybe the love wasn't there. I'm really grateful for what I have right now. And I'm just enjoying the perks of just my family and just being myself. You know, I think that's the main thing about having family, is that they allow you to be yourself. They don't judge you for being who you are, and they don't try to change you. Because when they try to change you, they try to change you into something that they think you should be. And that's never good. You should always be who you are. Like my mum says, always be and exactly who you are. Tell people who you are, show people who you are. But when they show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I think actually Oprah Winfrey said that. So that is a good piece of knowledge from my mum, that she got from her mum, but she got from her mum. So my great grandmother. I think that going to Sierra Leone, it really opened my eyes to like real life poverty and real life like hardship, I think. I mean, I've been through my own hardships in terms of physical, but I think I'm talking about more so financial and just conditions and actual care for each other. Sometimes there's not a lot of care amongst like some of the things that happen in Sierra Leone. A lot of things are funny situations that are resolved very quickly, but some things are a bit more serious and a bit more like a bit more overwhelming. Because of the funny stories, that is why people love Sierra Leone. And it's just the combining of so many different cultures. We've got English culture, Sierra Leonean obviously, we've got American culture, then you've got the Chinese as well who were there, you've got the Nigerians as well who were taking over the shops in Sierra Leone, also in Ghana too. But I can't comment on that because I'm half of both, so I'm not saying nothing. I really just, I love Sierra Leone, and I think I love Africa in general, but I never had such a good time in anywhere in Africa than I did in Sierra Leone. And because it's, not just because it's my mother's country, but because I got to truly enjoy my culture. I got to enjoy the food that my mom used to cook for me on Saturday mornings. I got to eat it in my own country where my mother is from. You know, I got to eat good cassava leaf. I got to eat good fufu, good okra soup. And I got to eat these good things and these healthy things because we're designed to eat them. These are the things we're meant to eat. You know, I'm talking about greens and okra here. No, not fufu. Not too much of that. But yeah, so this is just really what I enjoyed. And I really took advantage of having my family there. And it's really nice to have all these uncles and aunties looking out for you. But moving on swiftly. But yeah, so those are the things that I would say like really, really, truly made my time special in Sierra Leone. Also, driving to this place we call Jiggy Bontas, which is an ice cream parlor in Sierra Leone, which is, if you are from Sierra Leone, it is it's the one near Lumley Beach Road. So Jiggy Bontas, and also having like a impromptu party in like the car park of Jiggy Bontas by the beach. So like little things like that I really enjoyed. And going from hotel to hotel. So we stayed in Radisson Blue Mamiyoko Hotel, and then we went to Bintumani Hotel, then we went to Home Suite, then we stayed in an apartment on our own, then we went back to Home Suite for our last couple of days, and then I came home. So yeah, so that was everything, and I think I couldn't have had a better time. I gained a lot of weight too, but it's all part of it, you know, and I really, as an amputee, they really accommodated me. Sierra Leone, you know, we've had the war, we've had a lot of political unrest in the past, but the way that we're healing is amazing because we give each other hope. And I really love my country. I love Sierra Leone so much, and I love Nigeria so much as well, and Ghana. But Sierra Leone was the first place in Africa that I've ever been to. So I'm really, really appreciative of just everyone welcoming me and just embracing me as an amputee, because one thing I was worried about is people doubting me and people actually not wanting me to be normalized. So yeah, I mean, now I'm just really enjoying myself. So anyway, guys, I think I've told you so much about myself and everything, guys. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and obviously share the video, of course, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.